Good morning. Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw. And yesterday was an interesting day, wasn't it? Well, it was for me. We had a windstorm, lots of windstorms and damage all over the Pacific Northwest. Power went out, panicked a little bit because they told us it was going to be out for 3 days. Boom, midnight it went on. Thank you, God, for that. And for everybody that prayed for that, it worked. So we have power. Back to business. No problem. Okay, so Trump gave a speech yesterday. Gina's in there. Thank you, Gina. I got a mod. Trump gave a speech yesterday. Turn that off. Hang on. Interesting. Just jam-packed with columns. Sounds like he's got a lot of plans for the new year. It wasn't like my fellow Americans, everything's happening now. So, it wasn't that. And I didn't expect it to be that. But it was interesting. Now, he's going to put a new chair in the Federal Reserve. That's interesting. I wonder who that'll be. Let me get some feedback from the audience here. Make sure everybody can see me on Rumble and YouTube, that everything is going well before I begin. Can I get a 10-4 on that? What are you guys talking about in there? All right, we're good. 10-4. I had a delay. All right, so after the blackout, my computer's messing up and my ring light keeps going off. So I don't know what happened. But I'm going to try and 10-4, 10-4, 10-4, frozen. YouTube's good. What about Rumble? 10-4 from Rumble. Okay. All right. So, new chair of the Federal Reserve coming. And everybody's like, well, they're going to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We are moving into Nasara Jasara still, yes. And Trump's also giving $1,776 to every service member. That's nice. And he's telling us that it came from the new spending bill and the for the military and the tariffs. I love the tariff story. So there's a lot to dig into in that speech and the things that he said. I'm wondering if that's some kind of calm to the military. The 1776. Interesting number. Are we ready to go back to a republic? Is that some kind of, the average service member? No. But to some generals or somebody else, was that a calm that, okay, we're ready to go? Possibly. Could be. I think it's interesting. And we've got the participation in the regime change that we're aware of down in Venezuela. We really need to keep our eyes open for an announcement either from Trump or somebody else that Maduro has surrendered. As far as the RV goes, it could happen at any time. But there's some interesting things happening in the world right now. And it could all go down at any time. I don't know at this point what we're looking at. We were hoping for last night. So yesterday, a disappointing day for me. The electricity went out, everything was going haywire. I mean, we were cold and, in the dark, and I'm still working. And that just threw a wrench in my spokes there. The RV didn't happen. We didn't get notifications. I'm sitting in the car trying to watch Trump's speech while I charge my phone with it running. So yeah, not a good day yesterday. But transmute that. What was good about yesterday? Well, I didn't have any trees fall in my house, and my neighbor had a nice big tree fall in her bedroom. Came through the roof. Everybody's okay. Fell in the chicken coop. Everybody's okay. I didn't have any giant trees fall in my house. I didn't have any wind damage. I didn't have power out for 3 days. I had power out, but just for that day. I didn't lose all our food. I threw all the dairy away in the fridge, but everything else seems to be fine. I don't have to spend the next 3 days trying to survive here and keep everybody warm and figure out how to cook and everything else. So yay. Survived a bad situation. Okay. So let's take a look at what's going on in the world that way. All right, let's say, oh my God, it didn't happen. Let's not do that. Let's say, oh my God, he didn't say what we wanted him to say. Oh my God. Because there's a lot of details that we miss along the way. Also, somebody sent me a video this morning. I didn't have time to watch the whole thing. I just blew through the important parts, and now I have opinions. So, BRICS. Oh, silver skyrocketing again? Interesting. All right. Don't distract me. All right. BRICS. I told you a long time ago that the way the RV would roll out, the way I saw it, was that certain countries, we've got the kingpin for 4B to kick off Tier 4B. And the kingpin is Iraq, and they would revalue their currency, okay? And then that would create a domino effect in other countries for them to do the same thing. And then within that mix, we would have BRICS coming out again, saying, "Oh, hey, why don't you join BRICS? We've got a lovely plan." And so BRICS is in the news again about how they want to create a 60% currency values and 40% gold unit. The name of it itself just bothers me, and I'll tell you why. Unit, basically to use for trade, okay? That these BRICS countries would have their own currency, but they would be using this unit for goods and service purchasing things, trade between countries and throughout the world. Okay. That does not make any sense to me for Jassara. Because in Jassara, we're supposed to be sovereign nations with our own currency, right? Everybody's like, oh, well, yes, they're going to create the unit. So that, it's going to be difficult to use all these different currencies. And up until this point, the United States had the reserve currency of the world that they used for trade and things like that. Okay? But I told you BRICS would emerge again, and that would be part of the transition. Just looking at my notes. And I told you that when the other countries revalue, BRICS would be in the mix somewhere. And the United States would be forced to go to gold because it would crash the dollar. Now they're talking about BRICS coming out with this unit, and that would crash the dollar. And that would alleviate the dependence on the US dollar. Okay. So now, what if we were to do that? Let's take a look at the fine details here for a second and ask some questions. Okay? So, if 60% is backed by gold for this unit from the other countries, from the BRICS countries, wouldn't their currencies have to go to gold first? Wouldn't they have to change first? Because the whole idea of this is not being dependent on the fiat money system, right? Oh, and it all sounds good on paper. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Could the reemergence of BRICS in the news right now being an attempt to force the RV? Trump doesn't like the whole idea of BRICS. He doesn't like it. Why? Why? Because he wants the dollar to, reign supreme? Maybe not. He doesn't like it because it reduces the dependence on the US dollar. So what would Trump do if that were to happen? Trump wins. Okay? Most of the time. So what would he do if that were to happen? He would make the US dollar so valuable that everybody will want to use it as the reserve currency of the world again instead. And the unit would fail. Okay? Put that in the back of your mind for a second. No one will want to use this unit. Could talk about BRICS right now be an attempt to inform the uninformed about how fragile the dollar is and the fiat money system itself? Could it be an attempt to start highlighting that so that it's publicly acceptable that we need to do something and we need to change and we need to become, quote, sovereign nations with our money, and we need sound money, real money? Okay? Now, how would we add to the value of the US dollar so much that would squash the unit when we've got all these countries saying, oh, yeah, we want to be part of the club. We'd like to do that. Yeah, because we want to be able to use that. That's going to be easy. Okay? Americans, we're done with clubs. Okay? We're done with that. We want to stand sovereign. All right? So, and if people are like, well, you don't understand, international trade. You'd have to have some kind of vehicle. Well, let's use the dollar. Let's do that. Let's use the note. Why? Because it can't be owned. If we are sovereign, it cannot be owned by some rulers like just exactly what happened to us in the fiat money system. And they can't eventually tell us what to do. Okay? If we allow a multi-country currency to happen, that currency becomes more powerful than then how long until that currency becomes more palatable than individual countries' currencies? And how long before they appoint somebody to be the head of BRICS? You know, how long before every country is forced to join BRICS in order to do business worldwide? And if that happens, how long before whoever's in charge of BRICS and a leader is appointed? And how long before they start telling countries, well, you adopt this policy and you do exactly what we say, or you're ruined. You're not going to be able to do business at all. How long before we're in some kind of post-apocalyptic, sci-fi movie where everybody's running around trying to get units? And we've got a new world order. Does it sound like that? Yeah. And people can just kind of glaze over, like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, we'll just do this and all. Yeah, let's all be friends. Let's all be part of the club. Let's all have a unit that we have to use. Oh yeah, it's okay because you still got your own currencies. Yeah, that's cute. You still have your own little currencies there. But how long? How many years? How long until it becomes so valuable that we're dependent on it? And then we are not sovereign. It's the same story happening again. What did they tell everybody about the fiat money system when they changed over to that? Oh, yeah, this is better. This is easier. We don't have to hold all this gold. Yeah, go ahead and sign up for that. And how long has it been until that snowballed? And now we're all drowning in debt, and the countries are drowning in debt, and the value of the money is falling, and the inflation is rising, and it's all getting out of hand. And now we got to do something new. Now, Nasara Jasara is a real thing. They're not going to call it that. If BRICS nations, I doubt they're going to do it, but if BRICS nations do this, and they've got their little unit, the United States, Trump's going to come out and squash it. Nobody's going to want it. He's going to say, well, oh, by the way, the United States has their own little club. Okay? But we're all sovereign. And we're not going to play your New World Order, control game. We now own Canada, Australia, probably England, possibly the UK, and a lot of other territories now. And our currency is the highest and the most valuable in the world. And it's very easy to use. And then you'll start seeing people leave BRICS. The whole idea of joining the club, probably get little badges to wear. We could get a little badge to wear. I'm in the club now. And this is good. And this is easy. Well, how long before the rulers of the club? Oh, there's a governing council. Everybody has an equal say. Do they? That's really not how government works most of the time, isn't there? There's always somebody at the top, right? And who is at the top? Who's going to be at the top? Guess what? Probably China. So, but they're sovereign too, are they? No, because how long before they start saying, well, you're all members of BRICS, and this unit is so valuable now because we've got most of the world as members. Forget about your cute little sovereign nation's currency. If you don't adopt using our unit in your country as your currency, you don't get to play ball at all. Okay? And this is why Trump doesn't like it. Okay? So we are moving into sovereignty. This is somehow going to wake up the world with this whole BRICS thing, because there is an alliance behind the scenes that is moving into Nasara Jasara. Paperwork has been signed. For years, they've been trying to get everything set up to do it. The RV is the beginning of that. Changing the money system. Then you'll have all kinds of, for the good of the people, things that roll out, cures and all kinds of things. No debt, no taxes, everything. And that will all take time to roll out. What we're looking for is the initial flip. Now, interesting that Trump doesn't like the whole New World Order, One World Order, whatever it's called, which in the beginning could look very good. Oh, this is easy. You could even just put a chip right in your arm there for your units, and we'll just scan you. You don't even have to carry anything at all. Oh, and you know what? We're going to try, now that you have that, and you've got to use your units in every country, and you're chipped. We're going to do this like social credit thing. So if you're not a good boy or girl, you don't get your units. Come on, where is this going? Right? You guys need to think. Everybody glazes over and says, "Oh, yay! This is good." No, it's not good. And Trump has always been about sovereignty. He's always been about the republic. And then we get an announcement. We start talking about BRICS on the same day, and then we get an announcement from Trump that this big, huge announcement, everybody's got to see it. And he gives every military member $1,776. And you don't think that's a calm? That we're moving into the republic now? we're starting this? It is. But, little old me sitting over here. What do I know? So, showering you with a little grace today. Opening your eyes. Let's think about it. Let's see where this could possibly lead us. The old guard, the bad guys, they're never fully going to go away. And ideas like this, that's just an attempt to one day accomplish what we've been working so hard to stop them from doing. It's rebuilding. So no, I don't like BRICS and the whole idea of that. And their unit, that just kills me. It's like a sci-fi movie, where they're running around from different planets and they're all figuring out how they get their units, and they're scanned and they're chipped, and now you know what? So-and-so at the top didn't like what you said the other day. Now you're blacklisted. You can't have any units, and we're going to erase your balances because through your chip and your scan on your arm. Your scanner's not going to work. That's what I see eventually with something like that, because that's what the dark side does. That's what the cabal does. That's what the ruling powers. How long before these individuals accumulate more units than everybody else, and they say, well, this country, this group of people, this whatever has more units than anybody else, and we say that you need to appoint a one leader for this. And how long before they start telling countries what they have to do to get their units or to use their units? Evil's patient. They'll wait. They will do things so subtly that you won't even notice. They're looking ahead. They're looking at the ultimate goal. All right, we need to rebuild. How are we going to rebuild? Well, let's do this. And let's make it look like it's good for everyone. And that is the It's the whole purpose of this entire operation in the first place. Now, where is he putting the tariffs? I could be wrong here. Isn't he putting it in something called the Sovereign Wealth Fund? I believe so. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. There's so much more to the $1,776 for the military because, especially at a time, he's already got the military's votes. Okay? Is this payback for something they've done? Is this encouragement? Hey, something's coming. Stick with us. Is this, at a time when the public, the sleeping giant, the most powerful thing ever, if they all organize and turn against the government, is very broke. Average, okay? On average, bills are high, expenses are high, incomes are low. I mean, it's not balancing out. It's almost Christmas, and you come out. Everybody's waiting on Doge dividends, and everybody's waiting on kickbacks or some kind of checks to come in the mail. And you go out there and tell them, I'm going to give every service member $1,776, and that's it. All the rest of you normal people, all you civilians, you don't get anything. I mean, is that a political move? Is that a smart political move? Probably not. Probably not. So there's more to that than we realize. So if you think nothing's happening, you're not paying attention. There's a whole lot happening. So right now we're waiting on, and I don't know if it's to kick off the RV. We don't really know when that's going to happen. We try. I try. I ask the angels. And whoever flips a switch just decides at their whim that, well, you know what? Maybe not today. Let's do it next week. Let's do it next week. Let's do it next week. And then we're stuck in this perpetual Groundhog Day. And it's a miracle we haven't all started drinking. I mean, I should have started drinking a long time ago. But then I wouldn't be able to do my job. Or smoking pot or something. But, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. Although, I'm up for a vacation if anybody wants to go off to, Margaritaville or something with me. That would be fun. There's a lot happening. I just didn't have time this morning to find all and put all the pieces together, but I see this. The public opinion and the public rollout is the most important part of this. It is. It's very important. You cannot wake up the sleeping giant. You'll never survive. Especially on a worldwide basis. Okay? They don't want anarchy. You don't want anarchy. That would be a mess. We don't want to have to, shoot people to go to the grocery store or, have that kind of, no government at all. Okay? Because the government, as much as we hate the government, we don't hate the government, but it keeps us safe in certain ways. All right? Rule of law, things like that. But what they're trying to do is get out of the fiat money system, get out of the system of control by other countries or other rulers or even just a group of people somewhere far away who have accumulated all the money, right? But then we're going to go into BRICS, where we could be put in the same situation if we join. And then someday somebody will have all the units and tell the world what to do again. So, no. In the United States, we're going back to a republic. It was interesting. What did I do the math? Didn't I do the math on the date yesterday, and it came out to 19? In the republic, isn't Trump the 19th president? let's see, 1, 2, 12, 17, 25. So we got. No, I think it comes to 18, doesn't it? It's 18? If you add it up, we got 3, we got 10, we got 11. We've got 13, 18. Darn it. But never mind. Forget that. I think that's all I have today. We can do some readings. I've got like 20 minutes. You can do your rumble rounds now. But oh yeah, there was something else. Let me go back to my notes. Somebody sent this to me and it got me thinking this morning. I'm like, oh my god, I have too many thoughts. And I don't have enough time to put it all together. It's like I need to sit around with somebody at lunch and like come to a whole bunch of conclusions, but I don't have time for that. But there was something else. Oh, yeah. Remember the Gentile that said nothing to see here? And I see this BRICS as an attempt to move the world back into a place where it will eventually be controlled, like a new world order kind of situation. And then it comes to serve, and everybody's like, yay, BRICS, look at, we're all friends, and we're all, this is great. And, oh yeah, we still have our currency. We still have our own currencies, but we're just going to use this unit here for a while for the trade and everything. Okay. That's how they get you. Don't worry about that. Don't look at that. Nothing to see here. Just look at this. This shiny thing right here. Look at this. And go ahead, sign this paper. No, we're not doing that anymore. Trump and the Patriots and the Alliance, we're not doing that anymore. And says, well, what about, Russia? Russia's part of BRICS, and, we're supposed to trust everything that they do, right? BRICS is an acronym for the group of leading emerging market economies of the world, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, well, if something like this was forming, I just had other thoughts. I'm going to stick with this one. If something like this was forming, wouldn't you want to infiltrate that group? Yeah. With alliance? Yeah. Maybe they're doing this just to show the world how this kind of thing is going to fail if you do it right, like the United States is going to do and other countries are going to do. So, a lot of questions this morning. No real big conclusions. But we need to all just take a look at this and start thinking a little bit before we jump on board with this. Because a while back, everybody's like, oh, look at all the countries, they're joining BRICS, BRICS is the deal, BRICS is it. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just the same road back to where we just found ourselves, okay? And we avoided with the efforts of the alliance, the White Hats, Trump. We avoided by not letting Hillary Clinton be in office and getting him in office in first term. We avoided a whole bunch of post-apocalyptic scenarios there. Okay, they're just trying to lead us back into another one. But if you have something like that forming, and all these countries, these are good countries here. Something's going on there. That's infiltrated. Like, they've got good guys in this mix. It's probably to show the world, listen, this kind of thing, it's always going to fail. We have to be sovereign nations. We have to have our own money. We have to have sound money. We cannot be controlled by some ruling group who wants to rule the world. Because that's what will eventually happen. All right, let's get to your questions. It could also be an attempt to crash the dollar. We're already almost there. I mean, all we really need to do is the other countries to revalue. I mean, they might pull that off in the beginning just so it crashes a little bit more. So they have to change, and the public accepts that we have to change. But mark my words, Donald Trump will make sure that the U.S. currency is the reserve currency and used in the world, and he'll make it the most valuable. He's not going to lose at that. All right. Let's get over here and do some questions. I got 20 minutes. I know I'm not a financial advisor. Really don't know much about all of this at all. The world economies, things like that. But it is my job here in this life to open your eyes. And so I will be given the questions to ask you in order to do that. And I will be shown things very simply. I usually know what's coming, okay? Even if I don't know what I'm doing. The doodles, the southwest arrows before the windstorm hit me in the entire northwest. Somebody bellowing voice saying Colorado, Colorado, and now we've got like terrible windstorms and storms over there. Listen, if it's coming, they're going to tell me enough to tell you, especially. All right. Oh, I am giving away gift cards. I think I don't have enough time to do that today. I want to do like a Christmas show. Let's do it Sunday night. Okay? That way everybody can be there. I'm going to pick randomly from the people that show up. And some of them will be monthly supporters as a thank you. But I'm just going to pick randomly from the chat on Rumble. We're all going to go to Rumble on Sunday night. I don't know what time yet. I got 1 week to put Christmas together. I have not bought all the gifts. Okay. Now I'm invited to go up there and I got to buy more gifts for the family. I'm totally behind. I usually have everything worked out by now. So let's do it Sunday night so everybody can come. I'm going to be giving gift cards away. I'm going to be giving gift cards away for all of my classes, half-hour readings, and healings. Okay. Nope. Yep. I put the yearly forecast readings. I only offer them for I'll probably stop offering them in January, the end of January. They are up on the website. You can go and book them now. You don't have to book them in January. You can book them at, the first quarter of the year is best for this. But this is a yearly forecast. We take a look ahead at your in finance, which I don't really want to do, and health, family, and relationships for 2026. And it is an hour reading. I only offer them once a year. If you'd like to get one, you can get them at Fallawsophy.com right now, and you can schedule it yourself. If you'd like to give that kind of reading to somebody else, you can go to JenniferFallaw.com, where the gift cards are up. You purchase the gift card. You can't, because people have been going, they're on sale over there for the gift cards. The yearly forecast is on sale to schedule now. But the regular hour reading and the regular half-hour reading, the only sale on that right now is for gift cards. That doesn't mean you buy a gift card and say, oh, I want to schedule this because I want to get a discount. No. It's to sell the gift cards, okay? And give you guys a break on Christmas. So go over there and get your gift cards. Email me after purchase. The classes are still on sale as well if you'd like those for yourself. Email me after purchase, and so that I know where to send everything. Thank you. All right, readings. Shoot. I have 15 minutes. Someday I'm going to need like a personal assistant to follow me around so that I have enough time to do things. I can just tell them what to do. Just tell them what to do. Doing everything yourself is hard to It's just not enough time in the day. It's just not enough time. All right. Karen, Patriot Nurse. Scroll all the way back here. Do you see this court shutting down tomorrow? I heard a yes. I wasn't aware of why, but I heard a yes. Thank you for that. AZ Toby. Jen, my daughter Amy C. lost a diamond out of her wedding ring. Can you see where it is? Nope, that's probably gone forever. It like enters some kind of alternate universe. Vacuum, you'll hear it. That's how I find things like that. I'm seeing it on the ground. Inside. That's all I can tell you is the initial when it fell out. I'm the last person to ask about that unless it's in my house. But even in my house, yesterday when it was dark, I lost my my iPod AirPods Pro twice, and now I don't know where it is, and I use them every day. Now I have to use the big earphones. Anyway, I don't know. Sure, Kona. Hey, Jen, this is Leah M., and I was wondering if there was any messages from my dad, Steven. Or Stefan. Steven. He's missing you, and he's worried that you're not getting enough sleep or rest. Kim. Thank you, Kimmy A. Kim here. M or B? B. That's a big B there, Kim. Key Turtle, hi Jen. I'm struggling what to focus on. With what to focus on. Which one of these would be the best path to focus on and make me happiest financially come April? MD Regulatory, Due Diligence Group, or Living Waters Homeschool? Come What'd you say? Come April. Come April. You're not going to worry about any of it. You're homeschooling in April. I just saw it. Right to Opinion. Hi, Jen. This is Sharon H. How far do you see me traveling for the RV appointment? 29 minutes. Something like that. That's okay, Kathy. You meant to do $10, thanks, but there's $1 and I don't have a question. All right. Okay, this is Eileen. I have court today. Will I have to move this month or will the RV come in time? Love you, Jen. I think you have to move. I mean, even if the RV happens tomorrow, which should be cool. No, you might be able to pull it out tomorrow. I just feel like we don't have enough time here. Let's get some money. Okay. Patton. Hello. Love you, Jen. Angela and family are leaving this weekend to go to their new home in Utah. Do you see them arriving safely? Yeah, I'm sorry, Joanne. That's going to be a culture shock, especially with the weather, how cold it is. They get there. They get there okay. Kathy. I'm going to Cancun February 17th for a week. Do you see everything going smoothly? Thanks. I'm so jealous. I want to go back to Cabo. I've been wanting to go back to Cabo since, what was it, 91? We stopped going down there because of... Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seriously jealous about that. You looks like you have a really good time. That's really good. I want a whole bunch of that. I need to do that soon. Something just happened. I lost the feed. That is not good. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. All right, stop with the Rumble rants. I gotta go. I've got someone in 8 minutes. Hi, Jen. I just purchased a new car. Do you see me having to pay taxes on it in February, or will something change? There's a phrase on taxes. This tax. All right. Listen. Do not do your taxes or pay your taxes because of what I say psychically. That don't do that. All right? Stay responsible, stay grounded. It's plan A till plan B happens. But I just saw some kind of, it's like 90-day freeze on the taxes. Something's happening. Something's happening. Now with the car, this is a different situation here. So I was looking at income tax. That's different. I'm still getting a no. All right. Red, White, and Blondie. Hey, Jen, do you have a timeline on when Jesse will be able to come home from working out of town? Tiffany. I think I heard late week. Late week? This week? Oh, that would be Christmas. Yeah. All right, guys, I think that's it. I gotta get going. Let's just think. Let's read between the lines here on what was said in Trump's speech, on the news that's coming to the surface now, this reemergence of talking about BRICS. Keep an eye on what's going on in Venezuela. I feel like Iraq's just back there just watching everything geopolitically, which pisses me off. But like, I think that's what I'm seeing happening here. Is it's just like, okay, well, we're just waiting to throw the stamp down. Okay, I'm still focused on Venezuela. That's very important. Yes, some people say, oh, Venezuela's not going to be in the first basket. Screw your baskets. Yes, it is. It's very important. That is a big moneymaker for everybody, countries, everybody all the way around. It is very important what Trump's doing down there right now. Extremely important. Let's keep an eye on it. We're still looking for in the Gentel. We've had flooded train tracks, confirmation, cryptocurrency. I don't know if we saw a rise in there. There's something that came out about Ripple. Silver will fall and stay for a few weeks. Could have been a few days, but if it's going back up now. But we're not at the very end of the year, and I saw 62 something at the end of the year, so let's see what happens. Levees break, we've had tons of them too. Colorado storm, that's confirmed, we've had that. More executive orders is confirmed, we've had that. Pelosi was confirmed, we had that. The RV news for that Gentel is it's coming. The plan to release the rate in Iraq this week, the plan was, and that was That's this week. I saw a man signing papers. I didn't know if it was Sudani or Maduro. I asked. He said it was Sudani. The mission is also almost complete in Venezuela. Possibility of notifications after that. I thought that sentence should be after when I was talking about Iraq, but for some reason I ended up putting it at the end. Could be possible that we're waiting for completion or some kind of regime change in Venezuela or some kind of announcement or something. Okay? Don't lose hope. Everything's happening. We're moving towards Nasara Jasara. We're getting there. We're going to win this thing. We're all doing it together. Yay, A-Team. All right? Have a good day. I'm book solid. I love you all. I will see you on Sunday night. I will post the links in Telegram for the show, or if you subscribe to this channel on Rumble, you will be notified. Have a good day. Bye.